Signing up for Cyber Lunch.
Welcome back, Cyberbots. We are going to do the Avengers spoiler cast.
Our second spoiler cast, right?
Our second spoiler cast.
Probably our
This
better...
won't be a rant, though. I can
that one was
you
more of a complain fest.
Duly noted.
If there was something good about it, we would have said it, but whatever.
Star Wars Last Jedi, right?
Yes. Once again.
Thank you guys for sticking around.
I hope that airplane's having a good ride today. It's a beautiful day for
It just reminds me of Pink Floyd every time I hear an airplane.
Look, Mommy,
Okay, so
there's no plane up in the sky.
let's get right into it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
dang, man. Are you
Right?
talking about how much money it made?
Not only how much money it made, just the
you're
movie
talking
as a
about the
whole.
movie oh, okay. Yeah.
I want to ask you this right up front. At what point in this movie did you guys feel like it felt like 2 hours and 36 minutes?
It didn't.
Never. It was
It was
over,
not a
like,
slog whatsoever.
No.
I did not feel like I was watching Batman vs Superman.
God dang it, man.
You can't compare that. Except
You can't compare
you can't do that. No, it did not feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes, man.
This
I'm somebody
movie-
you can't sit in a theater, especially that theater. That AMC Maple Grove is cramped.
Yeah, it's a little tight.
It was a little tight. I was expecting more comfortable chairs, but I didn't care anymore.
Says the guy who put me on the end next to a stranger.
Right. That's why I didn't want to sit there. I didn't want to be responsible for what
I did
went
that to Lori on her plane, but moving on.
This movie, I came out of
Oh
this
my
movie
God.
like that was everything I wanted. Like seriously, it was
All
great.
expectations met.
It was great. There was nothing about it. There was maybe one or two spots, like the Vision stuff, where I was kind of like, it kind of started
visuals.
to drag. But
Are you talking
Holy
about the
shit.
Oh, you're talking
visuals?
about Vision,
just
the
like
character.
the story with
Yes.
Scarlet Witch and
Yeah,
their
I
love
agree.
story and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
we're on a
Yeah,
spoiler
we're-
cast.
Oh yeah, by
I'm
the way,
so
this
used-
is a spoiler cast.
I'm
so
so
if you
used
haven't
to
seen
not being-
Infinity War or plan on seeing it, or you should probably. Well, there you go.
There we go.
Don't listen to this.
I am not used to being on a spoiler cast. Can I just say?
It doesn't matter. Welcome to the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay, let's
talk-
start from the beginning.
So Barbara Streisand comes in as Streisand-Zilla.
And Sylvester
That was the
Stallone.
craziest part.
Okay,
I
no.
didn't see that
Okay,
coming.
no. We're gonna get a lot of people pissed off. The death at the beginning, right away, and then Thanos beating the shit out of the Hulk. Holy shit, man!
It opens up right after Ragnarok, pretty
Which
much.
I hadn't seen, and like I said in our last episode, I wish I would have, so
It
I could have gotten a
bas-
little bit of the context.
Basically, it's on their ship that they left Asgard on, and it basically says, Thanos killed half his people, but he didn't kill the other. That's what I love about Thanos, but we'll get to that. My creaky chair here. But it starts
That's
right
your
out
back, dude.
where they've obviously been fighting, and it's Loki and Thor
We gotta get you a new chair.
and Heimdall.
Heimdall.
Heimdall. And motherfucker, they killed two people right away. Like Loki
Loki was
brutally.
big. Like
That
everybody
was-
kind of figured Loki would die.
Not like that though, man.
But it was like
Holy
the way he just
jeez.
like picked him up and just cracked his neck.
Yeah, he just
got
squished him.
that color that Joffrey did when they killed him off in Game
Yes,
of Thrones.
that
And you're like,
white,
okay, that
pale,
dude's dead.
with the veins sticking out in his eyes.
Yeah.
They're all bloodshot.
Yeah,
Holy mackerel.
blue skin and red veins. That's not a good look for living
They
creatures.
killed Thor's entire everything.
Not only that,
and
Thanos did.
And Thor's reaction, dude, it made it worse. He was just, you could.
and he was wrapped
Hats
up.
off to Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
man.
he was
He
wrapped
sold
up in all that metal. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, Chris Hemsworth. The one
Crips.
thing, Crips,
Crips him.
to
Yo,
make-
what up? I'm Crips Hemsworth.
to make
That's bad.
Thor as badass as he is now is a craziest turnaround in this whole Marvel thing.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
I mean, he's
really have to
just
see
awesome.
Ragnarok.
And Chris Hemsworth nails it. But the best part of this whole scene was they're like, we have a Hulk. And Hulk comes and fucking Thanos treats him like a redheaded stepchild. Beats his ass. And to the point where it scares Hulk so bad he retreats into Bruce Banner. Like that, to lead off with that and show how powerful that enemy is.
That
man.
was really one of my favorite parts of the movie. Is how
Yeah.
Bruce couldn't like take out the Hulk, and like when he were like, no,
Yeah, he's like,
You're
no.
oh dang,
And the way,
like because he couldn't handle it in the other movies. Like he would just come out,
yep. And
anything.
Hulk was scared.
and
Like,
now you
that's-
couldn't draw
Whoa.
him out. Like he's
Yep.
like, please, oh come on, just trying to coax him out the whole movie.
And Josh Brolin, they used his voice. They didn't dub it. They didn't make it like all synth or anything to make it deeper or anything like that. That was Josh Brolin, and how Thanos was unbelievable. I liked it. The special effects were great on him. It didn't feel. It was so opposite of like Justice League. Like, it was a threatening character, and it started off right like that. Like, it just.
Oh, he was threatening because he was like, in a way, like nihilistically reasonable. Where he's like, I'm just doing this to cleanse and doing this.
Well, and like they're selling it, like they sold his whole thing, like, you know, there's planets without resources, which, you know, people are like, oh, I get that.
Independence Day.
And you know, you just gotta trim the herd, and the people who left get to live in this, you know, vast paradise.
Well, let's try to.
You're like, oh, okay, you get it, and it's like, holy crap, that's crazy.
Let's try to
Compartmentalize.
Yes,
I hate
thank
that
you.
word.
This whole thing. So it starts out, Thanos basically just kicked the hell out of Thor, right? And everybody else on the ship, trying to get the Tesseract.
Yep.
And Loki gives him the Tesseract to spare his brother, but then also has it, because he's a trickster, he also has that knife behind his back, and he tries to kill Thanos.
Oh, yeah, he tries to get his throat.
And Thanos just grabs him right by, freezes him because he has a time stone already, somehow. Well, because he had the Tesseract, because he crushed it in his hand. Freezes him, grabs him by the throat, lifts him off the ground, and just squeezes him to death. It was crazy.
And Thanos' hands in the movie are just like, it's almost like it could encapsulate his whole head.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't crush his head.
It's like Hulk
so
style.
you know it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, just squish.
That's the last of Loki. And that was the last Loki, at least
Yep.
in the movie. This one, I don't think he'll be coming back.
I think the people that really died in this one, like had physical deaths, are the ones that will stay away. I think the people that, at the very end, we'll talk about it, that
When
kind
we
of
get
blew
there.
away.
I think Loki's one of those.
Loki won't come back, I don't think. Tom Hiddleston, they've been talking about that for a while, that he had to do other things. And the Gamora chick has to do, she's doing something else that's coming
Probably
up.
Star Trek.
That and something
Zoe
else.
Saldana.
Yeah.
Danya.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
But anyway, goes from that, now he has the Tesseract, he has the Time Stone. Is that the Time Stone? I'm not going to get these right. And then where does it go from there, Justin? You were supposed to have this whole list up
I
here.
have it there, but now you make me pull up Infinity Stones. It's like I can only work so fast. You guys need to give me some money so I can buy 2 computers.
How did you like the opening? It was very
I loved
somber.
It was perfect for, I think, the whole movie.
Yeah, that was all pre-credits, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I think
because that was like-
I think the movie as a whole is one of the best, well put together superhero movies I've ever seen. The most action packed. It's got
Agree.
all the glory,
Agree. And it,
especially for the enemy Thanos.
yeah, and it looks
He's ultimate.
great.
And when I first heard about this movie, I was just like kind of eye roll, like I prefaced before in many episodes before. I'm not huge into comic books. Like I
have hit superhero movie fatigue.
but
This came right at the right time to just like give you that fucking jolt. To
It
go
was
back.
like an adrenaline
Holy
shot.
shit.
the acting was spot on. I loved all the characters. I loved the team ups of the characters. Like I said before to you guys, like I was golf clapping to myself quietly when Thor, Groot, and Rocket came out of the portal.
Yep.
Dude, that was
At
a
the
great team
end,
up.
Yep.
and then the whole theater around me was like, "Yeah,
Dude,
We had a pretty good theater. They were
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
responsive. I like that.
And
for-
everybody was respectful too. Nobody
Yeah,
was fucking
nobody-
talking. Nobody was like
A
being
little up to the beginning,
obnoxious.
but yeah.
I mean,
there were
Oh, that dude at
there
the
were
end,
children.
We got.
those kids were devastated.
Speaking of audience, we got to end
you
the
gotta
show.
you gotta back up if you're
Speaking
gonna
of
replicate
audience.
that guy.
No, I'm not doing it now. By the end of the show, when we talk about the post-credit sequence, I want to end the show with what that guy said.
There's
in the
so
theater.
much to digest in this movie.
It's so, but they put it together.
Jake, you're talking
so,
about the space stone. That's
well.
that was in the test.
Yes.
I pulled it up here for you.
So he can rip time in space. You know, he can do whatever he wants with space. That just, I don't even know where to start with this movie. It was so good. Like it had so much. I was so worried about how busy
There's
it would
so
have
much
to be.
to mess up.
But it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. 36, 2 hours 40 minutes. You know, basically.
yeah, around there.
36.
And they did it perfectly. They took these little groups, put them on their own little mission, and it all worked together. It wasn't like there was some weird thing going on. It was all one cohesive story. They were going for the same goal. And the way Thanos was presented was like you could see where he was coming from, like why he was on this mission, and you could see his sacrifices he made to make sure that this would happen. I mean, and the way he fought, he wouldn't kill everybody. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't a typical enemy that was just trying to wipe out cities. He was like picking and choosing who he had to kill. Like Vision, spoilers, got the freaking
You don't need to say spoilers in
Yeah,
the
I know.
spoiler
I'm
cast.
going to say it anyway. but
you
got
mean-
that.
It's like a reflex at this point.
I mean, Scarlet Witch. Vision told her, "You have to kill me. You have to destroy the stone in my head," which is the what stone? Justin, you have your little graph.
Which
Where'd it
one?
go? Not the Soul Stone. It's the Mind Stone.
Oh, the one
believe.
that's in Vision's
Yes,
head.
Yeah.
that runs Vision.
Ooh, that was intense.
And he said that you have to destroy this. So there's a point where she is using all her power, which, by the way, makes her a badass in this universe.
and I didn't really care for that character.
Not
until
really,
this.
but they showed how powerful she was. That
Yeah,
she
to be able to
destroy a stone.
Vision and the stone.
And she
Yeah.
destroys it, and Thanos walks right out of his portal with his time stone that he got from.
Are we gonna go in order here, or are we?
No, we're just going to talk about it because
Oh,
everybody
okay.
that's seen it knows.
Yeah.
And he reverses that time after Vision explodes, brings him back just to rip that stone out of his forehead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, and he just turns gray and dies.
Just
Like,
looks like a
holy
dead
moly.
empty robot.
I know this is like disingenuous to say, but is this one of your favorites throughout the entire franchise?
It's my second favorite.
What's your first favorite? Winter Soldier? Probably Winter
No,
Soldier.
it's either Civil War or Ragnarok. They're right there. Ragnarok I love because of the humor in it. But as a whole movie, it was good. It was awesome. But Winter Soldier and Civil War, they were good flicks, man. They were like really these brothers. What's the name of these brothers, Justin? The directors.
Of Infinity War?
Yeah, and they did Civil War.
Joe and Anthony Russo.
Yeah, the Russo brothers.
Hey, we're the Russo brothers. We're gonna
Hey.
make a comic book movie.
They did Winter Soldier, Civil War, and this, I believe. And it shows because they really put their time, but they move it along at the right speed. Like it's just
Feige.
And Kevin Feige, producer.
Who's this Feige?
It's just there were stakes in this movie. It wasn't a generic enemy again. It wasn't just a.
And they've done that.
Yeah.
They've done that.
Everybody
I feel
was
like the
good.
first Avengers movie is guilty of the
My
generic enemy.
my eyebrows were raised when everybody started disappearing.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on with that. I was like, oh
Are
shit.
you talking about the end when people all
I'm sorry to jump right to the end, but that was like one of the moments in that movie where I'm just like, okay, well, this hasn't been done before.
You know what I love most about that? That was the end of the comics. Like that's how the comic run ended. Infinity Gauntlet, right? I love that they couldn't do that for this 2-part series. They couldn't make that 2-parter end like that, but they got it in there. And it made it a good cliffhanger for the next one. It was brilliant. It really was really, really good. The only thing I didn't like is they didn't explain where Captain America's been. Like I want to see that. But that might come up in Ant-Man. That
In
might
the
come
Wasp.
It
Yeah.
might come up with
Yeah, I have a feeling you're
Supergirl
gonna
or
kind
whatever
of
her
need to
name
see
is.
that maybe.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, which I'm kind of excited to see. But I think
just-
this movie head to toe just kept going, and it showed epic stuff, and it wasn't too crazy. The Iron Spider. What'd you think of that?
I loved it.
What was
That's actually
that?
on my list. I had a
Spider-Man's
little
new
list.
suit.
Oh yeah, that thing
And then I was
sick.
listening to, I can't remember the name of the guy, but the lead producer on the new Spider-Man game, and somebody asked him from Game Informer if they were going to have the Iron Spider in the new game, and he said maybe. Kind of in so many words, he said maybe.
Well, I wasn't a fan of that suit until he got the legs come out the back. I was like, holy shit, they did it. Like, wow, that's cool. When he captured that chick, like saved her from the explosion and then rolled safely, like he cocooned himself
could
with the
hear, like,
legs.
ting, 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 ting,
Yeah,
ting.
God,
He
it
was
was
rolling
just
over
good.
the legs.
He couldn't.
Oh, Mantis? Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he couldn't be up in the altitude. He passed out from being up with no oxygen, and
Oh,
he hooked up that new iron suit to him, and he could breathe now. He has
Who
like an
called
Iron
that
Man
one
suit.
guy Squidward that was all powerful? that Doctor
Star-Lord.
Strange.
Star-Lord.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Proxima Midnight. He called him Squidward. God, that was great. I mean,
Which character was that?
that was the telekinetic one
Oh,
of
that
Thanos'
I
thugs.
hated that character.
I liked him because he
That-
was preaching like a cultist when he's like, "You have the pleasure of dying at the hands of."
Just like the fact that the dude could just like do whatever he wanted and just and he
You
was
mean
all
like Superman?
He was all CGI. He
There's
was
arguments to be made.
He shrugged his shoulders. That was better than expected when I said that. I
Well,
thought I was gonna get a
I'm a
backlash.
Superman
I think it's just
guy,
because
but
he's
it, you know,
CGI. I didn't like. He reminded me of something from Star Wars a little
Dude,
bit too much.
We can get into Adam Warlock and like the Beyonder and stuff if you want to talk about how overpowered Superman is. If you want to get into Marvel overpowered.
well, don't just
Anyway,
introduce this all-powerful character. I haven't seen him before in this.
Adam
even-
Warlock was at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He was in that
All
cocoon.
right. Well, I have some.
Anyway,
catching up
I'm just
to
saying,
do.
don't talk to me about overpowered characters in the Marvel universe. Anyway,
OP.
Thanos has a direct goal in mind, and it's like this is his life's goal to wipe out half the galaxy, basically, to preserve everything because it was getting too big. Is that typical, like, you know, if we wiped out half a population, it would be better on everybody for food and blah, 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 blah.
Resource-wise,
But it goes
yeah.
universe-wise. And he's on a mission. I mean, it's his armor, him and his armor.
Can I say something?
Like, holy mackerel.
No,
Thanos would have loved cattle decapitation.
I'm sure he would.
he probably would.
But I mean, I liked how he had his little. I wasn't too crazy about the CGI cronies that he had. The dark. What's that word? The black group or
Black
whatever.
Elf. Oh, the Black Order.
Black Order. They're like his other children, I guess. They're like Gamora's stepchildren, or not stepchildren, but step siblings. Anyway, they kind of reminded me of Man of Steel. I whispered that to you.
Just generic.
Yeah, and CGI, but they were still cool. But they were off doing their thing, trying to get these stones, and
Dude.
Thanos was trying to get these stones. And
When Vision and Scarlet Witch were like on that street, and all of a sudden Vision got stabbed,
Yeah.
I jumped
Yeah.
out of my seat.
Oh,
Like,
I jumped
shit.
numerous times in that movie. I can't remember the other time, but yeah, that was one
Like
of
they
them.
got me off guard, which I was like,
Yep.
Yeah. I was
bravo,
like, oh,
bravo, yes,
dang.
of course.
Yeah,
Vision-
that
Vision
you didn't
pretty
see
much
that coming.
He was pretty much hurt that whole movie. He was always phasing in and out, like he was
Weak
always hurt and
character.
weak. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but
They-
Vision in
they
the
didn't
comics
do
was
him right.
so overpowered. I don't know how many times you can do that. You know.
One of my favorite moments in the movie is when Doctor Strange was like having that seizure.
Yep.
Where he was like looking at all probable outcomes for what could actually happen.
Yep.
Oh,
And
and
I
he was
think,
like meditating, and his head was doing that.
and of course,
Jacob's
I
ladder.
think that
Yeah, Jacob's
what,
ladder.
what happened is exactly what needs to happen.
Well, no, he saw 14 million plus different
Yeah.
realities, and
And
only
worked.
one worked.
And that's the one.
And he said that. He said this is the only way. Endgame.
This was the only way.
He said Endgame. It was like, and then he disappeared. It's like, wow. And
That means part 2.
right, but
Well,
still,
yeah, but-
like,
Have a part
still,
2.
Obviously,
how sick
when we
did
get
they
to the
make
end of the
Doctor
movie.
Strange in this movie? He was fucking
He was-
badass,
He
dude.
was sick. Like
Yes.
yeah, in the first movie, he's like, okay, he's kind of a joker. It's like, whatever.
I just
But, yeah,
imagine
he
him
was-
without the CGI magic in front of
I
him.
know.
He's like,
I know. I was thinking that same thing. Doing that little, making little.
But
portal.
still, like when he was like,
I want to do that for a job.
when he was floating and meditating, even the colors, they get everything right, and
Dude,
they mix
the color
the
of his
Guardians.
suit is just like perfect.
Well, and they mix the style of the Guardians in with it, and then they make the Thor part of it, and then they make, they had all the styles and they meshed. That's
you did
what's.
see how many people helped make that movie, right?
Oh, dude.
That
was
credits
crazy.
took about 5 minutes.
But I was still so excited after seeing the movie. The credits didn't even seem that long. Like I was just like waiting for that.
Who is
last
your
scene.
favorite character overall?
in the whole movie?
Yeah.
Thanos, dude.
Drax.
Drax did a really
Drax
good
was really
performance, man.
How long have you
I
been
feel
standing
like
there?
all the Guardians made up for
long
Guardian.
time.
What I've seen of
Over an hour.
Yeah.
just sitting there eating chips,
I am
watching people.
almost
make-
invisible.
Mantis was funny as hell when she was sitting on the gravity place when they were like, "Oh, the gravity's
All
less,"
those-
and she's
yeah,
like
all the
jumping in
Guardians
the
guys
background.
killed it in that movie. They were great. It was better than what
That
I've
was a
seen of
subtle
two.
moment that you could miss.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. I saw that too.
The thing is, every single person they have made into a character, actor-wise, in all of these movies, I can't imagine anybody else being them. That's
Yeah,
what's so
everybody's
great about it.
adopted it
It's
really well.
perfect. There's no way you could be another Tony Stark.
That's what happens
unless
when
they
you do
reboot.
3 movies as somebody.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if they did 3, like
Andrew Garfield's the new Tony Stark.
well, that's true, but
No, I'm kidding.
I know.
Okay.
I was like, wait, what?
When they switched War Machine from Terrence Howard,
to John Cheadle.
right?
I don't like Terrence Howard.
But that
so I
was
like,
still
sweet,
early.
good.
They couldn't do that now because
No.
there's no way anybody else could play it. It's like we have to pay this guy $3 million to show up for 15 minutes just because he has to be that person. Even War Machine, when they were fighting and he's just unloading on that crowd down in Wakanda.
Oh,
He has
dude.
all his guns out, and Iron Man does that like carpet bomb bombing
Yep,
with those
it's
little
like-
bombs out his back. How about Iron Man's suit? How cool was that? All the nanomachines, so he could pretty much make any weapon he wanted to do.
Oh yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, he
So
has some
sick.
pretty sick armor in that too. He had that the Hulkbuster suit that Bruce Banner got into.
Yeah.
That made another appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some toys, man.
It was good. Everybody was good in this. But there was real deaths. I mean, Gamora really
Yeah,
died.
can we talk about the
Yep,
Gamora death?
go
You were
for
kind
it.
of talking about earlier how you're talking about just Thanos's kind of just commitment to his cause, and that I think really was like
That he
the
actually loved
cornerstone,
her.
the pinnacle. Well, no, I just think the fact that he threw his daughter off a cliff for
best-
what he believed in.
the best part of that is when she's like, "You don't care about anything." He had his back to her, and he turned around. And he was crying.
Well, yeah, the fact seeing
Like,
Thanos
whoa.
cry, having a wet brow or
Yeah.
a wet tear duct, it was that. Yeah, it was really. I don't know. It was really kind of emotional for.
That was like the Mortal Kombat thing back in the day. Remember when you die and it was like to the continue screen and you were like falling down the pit?
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you didn't push continue, you'd splat on the ground. That's what she looked like when she was.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy, man. Then the
Yeah.
shoulders laying there all contorted. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that was probably a scene that was up there for me. That was like, I was like, damn, that was.
How about the? How
that's
about
what
the?
this movie's about.
So the list of people that disappeared is Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, Bucky, Doctor Strange, Gamora. Well, she got pushed over the edge.
No, she's dead.
She's
yeah.
The
dead.
sacrifice to Soul Stone.
Yeah.
Loki died right away. We talked about that. Mantis died.
Wait, before you browse over
No,
the.
Mantis didn't die.
Yeah, she disappeared.
Did she?
Yeah,
Yep.
because it's only the original Avengers that were left. I mean, everybody started disappearing. I'm like, holy shit. How brutal was the Spider-Man one? When he was like crying and was like, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to die.
Mr. Stark, wasn't he talking to
Yeah.
Tony? Yeah, that was pretty emotional. You can like see him
Yeah.
crying.
I was like,
as he-
oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, that was an intense scene for just people disintegrating, but they did it
Well, I
slow
heard
enough.
kids in the theater when
There were kids in
when Thanos is torturing
The sister,
God.
yeah, it was Gamora's sister. What's her name?
I
Give
can
me a
never
second
remember
here.
her name. I can't. How about?
Give me a second.
I know. Well, we can't.
Nebula.
Yeah, but Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula.
Thank
I knew that.
you.
Nebula.
Yep. It was
Yeah,
brutal,
and
man.
she's like all made out of parts, and they were like dissecting her like via force
Yep.
she's just hanging
reality,
there.
Reality stone.
from her back,
Yep.
just kind of slowly pulling her apart piece by
Okay.
piece. Just,
So the
yeah, that
Soul
was-
Stone. Before I didn't want to skip over the rest.
Soul Stone.
Soul Stone. He goes there, and who shows up? Out of nowhere. That's the biggest surprise for me for the whole movie. I was just like, oh, I wasn't even thinking that dude would come back.
Yeah, who was that?
Red Skull.
Oh, well,
that's
yeah.
right.
It's like, okay.
But I like it because it does make sense. Because he got, like you said, he got sucked into the Tesseract at the end of Captain America.
Yep.
And he
very
said
first one.
that he was cursed to sit there because he had nobody to sacrifice for that stone. He was cursed to watch people try over and over to get something that he could never have. And he was basically cursed to be there. But it was not Agent Smith. Who was it? I thought it was
Falcon.
Littlefinger,
Yeah, let me look that up. Let's
but
see
I
who
don't
that
think it was Littlefinger.
So Falcon died. Drax the Destroyer. Mm-hmm. Groot, R.I.P. Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Right before, we'll talk about that in a
And
second.
can we come back to the Groot? In this movie,
Spider-Man.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spider-Man and Vision. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty hefty death toll for a Hollywood movie like that.
Plus unknown and untold other ones that we didn't see on screen. Because like half the population, basically Thanos snaps his fingers when he gets all the stones. After Thor buries that freaking axe in his chest. He's like, he said something.
And Justin, you want to cue talking about that axe, both of you?
Yeah.
Thor's
The
axe.
Stormbreaker, his new weapon.
Oh, you guys are going so fast.
See, you haven't seen Ragnarok.
No, I haven't. But that part with Groot was really.
Do you want to know why he had to get a new weapon?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, in
Just tell
Ragnarok,
him.
Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up.
so Hela in Ragnarok blew up he threw the hammer at her Mjolnir, and she caught it and crushed it and blew it
Oh
up.
yeah. I think I remember.
You see it in
seeing
the
that
trailer,
part.
so it's
Yeah.
not a spoiler. He had to get a new weapon and forge it, and that's why he went to.
Oh. Okay.
my God. Peter Dinklage.
I know, right?
That
I thought we were talking about the axe.
We are. It's the same
I'm
time.
sorry.
He was the dwarf.
Oh yeah,
that-
that's right. He's the one
yeah.
who forged it.
He's the
That's
dwarf.
right.
Yeah.
Yep, in the star.
And he had his big voice.
He did a great job.
It was.
I
very,
loved it.
It almost was tongue in cheek.
It was very tongue-in-cheek, but well done tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, and it was awesome when he opened the star, when the star went into the forge like that, and Thor was holding it open, burning. It was cool as hell. I like when Thor was like, Peter Dinklage was like, it could kill you, and Thor was like, only if I die. He's like, yeah, that's what that means. It was awesome, but it was great. I liked how Thor went with Rocket and paired off with him. That was a perfect
Oh
pairing.
yeah, and Star-Lord didn't like him.
Yep. He
Trying
was
to
jealous
talk
of
like
him.
him.
Dude,
Yeah.
that Thor and Rocket and Groot relationship, and like Groot being the moody teenager who just played his like phone the whole time.
Yeah.
That was great.
I didn't like how Thor lost his patch though. Either stick with one or the other. I liked his
Yeah,
eye
I didn't
patch.
really get it because his eye didn't look any
No,
different.
I
was
got it
just like-
because Rocket likes to steal
Well,
prosthetics.
He did in Guardians too. He
Well,
stole that eyeball.
that's where it connects. I
know,
like
but
that. That's awesome.
I like the look of his father, Odin. You know, like I like that.
I agree.
I like that.
And it didn't. His eye.
yeah,
didn't
but he's
seem to
not
bring
Odin. He's something else.
I know, but
His eye didn't seem to bring any sort of plot.
That's a little extra. I have to say it's a little extra, but
it is. But
His eye didn't seem to bring any sort of plot point. So why are they reintroduce it? I guess.
and how about for the fact that you wanted Captain America to die? I wanted Hawkeye, who didn't even show up in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
so
I
I
didn't
still
see
might
him
be
at
right.
all.
I still might be right at the end. We still have our
there's still
bet.
plenty
going.
of time to die.
We
in
still
this
have our
movie.
bet because we bet. He said Captain America. I said Hawkeye. So whoever die first, got to get a hamburger.
Cheeseburger, right?
yeah, Big Mac.
Yep. Big Mac. That was never in the deal. I don't
Yeah,
want
it
that.
was.
Oh, it's
Horrible.
Trappers.
Bullshit.
Trappers.
No,
bacon
I
cheeseburger.
didn't shake on any of that. I did
Anyway.
not shake.
Captain America, when he caught Thanos' fist, when he was reaching down to grab the stone, and Captain America jumped in there and just held him back, and Thanos had that look on his face like whoa, and how he respected people like Peter Quill when he was going to shoot Gamora, and he tried and he turned it into bubbles, and he's like I like
That
you.
was cool.
I
Once
like
he got
him.
that reality stone, I was
Yep.
like, I don't trust anything in this movie, and you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and
it
he goes
did.
to shoot her, and it turns into bubbles, and he's like, I like this one. And then backed into his portal. Like, he didn't kill him. He could have killed him. Like, he did. He picked his spots. He didn't have to kill everybody. He killed pretty much half of everybody.
He left it up to the chance at the end, kind of the 50%.
Well, it was he snapped his
he
fingers in
wasn't.
half.
He's not the murderer, really. You know.
No. Here's a better question. What would have happened if he was part of the half of that died?
Whoa.
Well,
Right?
No, that would never happen.
Could that
I know,
happen
I
if
know.
he's the one who initiated?
I don't think
it?
What do you
so.
think about the gauntlet after he used it, though, being all beat up? Do you think it just has a certain amount of uses before it falls apart? Because
I don't know, but
forged?
I freaking want one, whether it works or not.
Dude,
I want
think
just
it's
the model
so
of
sick.
that.
Dude, that
That's
thing's
so
all
sick.
powerful. It's not going to break down or diminish over
It did
time.
though. When he
Did
used
it?
it, it got all blown up. Like
Maybe
it was
that's
like
how they're gonna beat him.
I don't know, and his arm was kind of all scarred from
Do
it.
you think that's what the next one's gonna be? Is it gonna end on an upper note and be like, oh,
Well, they have to
Yes.
beat him. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Because
Yeah.
I love the ending of this one. Just how he just
Dude, it was a kick in the face.
Just gets
if you
up
didn't
to-
know what was coming, if you didn't have like the deep knowledge of a comic book person, that was a movie
I didn't.
where you just sit there and you're like,
I
holy
knew
shit.
what was coming, but I didn't know. Just seeing people start to deteriorate, and I didn't really know what the runtime was at, so I didn't know if we knew the end or not. You know,
It was like 15 minutes of people dying.
and I'm like, jeez.
wow.
And then he just goes to the top of that like Peruvian mountain
Yeah,
and
and his
just
farm.
sits down on his
Yep.
porch and
Sips a chai.
And
Black.
Nice chai.
Yep.
just goes to black.
Thanos.
And everybody's just like, what?
Yeah, and Thanos will return. That was the best part. It wasn't
Yes, and that was
Avengers
used to be
will
the
return.
Avengers will
Yep.
return.
Thanos will
Yep.
return.
And I was go do
So,
do, 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 do,
the original
do, do, do.
Avengers are the only ones that are left. The original cast from the Avengers, if you notice. Everybody's still alive.
Thor, Captain America.
Yep. So I think, my theory is,
Alright,
they're
I'm
gonna,
surprised Iron Man lasted.
well,
He
it's
will.
Tony Stark was very
He's going to be the
important.
ultimate sacrifice in the next movie.
Well,
I
he was
think.
very important to it, obviously, because Doctor Strange gave that stone away to sacrifice to save him, because he
That's
said,
true.
"Spare his life, and I'll give you the stone." And so Tony Stark is a centered part of this. But I think the old school is going to save the new school, like go through time or whatever, and bring those guys back, and then that'll be the new Avengers, and all the old ones can retire and
So it was the new
go
school.
do their thing. Black Panther, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch probably. I mean, she got nothing else to do. What the hell is she gonna do?
You mean the actress?
Yeah, like what's she gonna do?
Now is that really one of the Olsen girls?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
their sister. That's crazy.
Oh, it's not Mary Kate or Ashley. It's
no,
like
it's
another one.
older one or something. I don't know. Yeah, you didn't know
Older
that?
one.
Derek Olson.
Hi, I'm
Derek
Mary
Olsen.
Kate. Hi, I'm Ashley. Hi, I'm older one.
I'm Scarlet.
Hi,
Witch.
I'm Derek.
I don't know. This movie was just good.
CC.
It was. I had a smile on my face
Elizabeth
when I left,
Olsen.
and I was happy with everything I saw. How about that ending battle scene? Like, come on.
The one in Wakanda.
No, well, that was great. That was like the
That
middle
was
one.
great. That reminded me like a
Lord
Game
of the
Thrones-
Rings.
or yeah, Lord of the Rings fight.
It reminded me of like a.
That's Jurassic Park
Well, there's dinosaurs.
It reminded
That's what they
me.
fought.
in Lord
No,
of the
they-
Rings or in Avengers.
No, in Avengers. That was totally a dinosaur. It's a vampire dinosaur.
No,
What?
what?
Yeah, those aliens were dinosaurs.
No, they were Venoms.
No, they weren't. That's a dinosaur. Where do you think dinosaurs came from? Space, duh. On a giant asteroid.
Somebody the other day told me they didn't believe
Some-
in dinosaurs.
Okay.
Like it's like a
Fake
choice.
news.
you walk away.
Was it
Basically,
the
I'll
other
tell you
day
later
on
who
the
it
other
was.
day?
Okay, I probably can guess. Anyway, the Wakanda fight scene was great when they were chanting up on the hill, like getting ready to battle.
If
do
you like
battle.
that, you need to see Black Panther.
I will.
Shame.
I know. I should have seen it.
I do
Shame.
need to see it.
Shame.
And how those crazy creatures were trying to get through their shield, like they were just coming through and getting
They're just
sliced in half and
sacrificing
stuff.
their limbs
Yeah.
and heads are falling off 'cause it's just this force field. Yeah, that
Falcon
was really cool.
flying over the top, just unloading on dudes.
Everybody who was like, in the series before was like, that dude's a badass.
Yep.
Everybody was a badass. In that
And
movie.
then the man
Except
of the
Vision.
hour, Thor, comes flying in there and just decimates stuff.
Yeah.
Puts a
Like I wanted like applaud during that. Like
We all did.
everybody
is that
did.
one of the times we
That's
did?
when the whole
Yeah.
crowd just started. That's what I'm saying. They applauded for Thor. Like that's how good this movie made their characters.
It's okay.
Oh, it was so
mean,
good.
It's fine.
How about the end scene though, when they're fighting Thanos and he crushes a moon and starts bringing pieces down on
That
top
was
of Tony?
sick.
Like, come on.
Like you just see him pointing up there in the sky, and you just see it like,
Yeah.
and then here it comes, just like meteors.
And the look on his face and the struggle, like it looked like he was straining to fight everybody. And they're like, "Don't let him close his hand." Remember that? Because he has to make a fist in order to do it. So they kept shooting, like
Yeah, they were
Spider-Man
trying
would
to
shoot his
pull it
webs
off.
in there. Iron Man shot that little like block in there that would like strapped his hand open, and he's trying to struggle.
I was
back.
actually thinking about that. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't know that.
no,
Did
it
they
would
really
take
say that much?
it would take a lot of ingenuity to like plan a device that would shoot into his hand to keep it from
Well,
closing.
it's the same reason
Tony
Batman
Stark.
has a ice skates on his
Or
boots.
shark repellent spray.
Yeah, I mean that's
I,
that kind of.
by the way, for my trip, I got an actual picture of that shark repellent spray at a museum. It's one of my treasured
Really?
photos. I'm gonna frame it in a 20 by 17.
I need
foot.
that on dry land.
Yeah.
It's actually my cologne.
It's Darrell's Christmas present this year.
I would totally use it, especially in. It'd probably like attract muskies in our lakes.
How about
Great story, Darrell.
Great star.
how about when what's her name, Lotus? No,
Yeah, Loki.
Mantis.
She has Thanos like mesmerized asleep like she did with Ego,
Yeah, that was one of those times I was like, dude, they got him.
and
They
she
got
should
him.
be able to do that because she had a living planet she could make fall asleep, and this was Thanos. And they're pulling that glove off, and they almost have that gauntlet off.
Yeah, dude.
And frickin' here comes Star-Lord, all pissed off because he killed Gamora,
Yeah.
and starts frickin'
That's
banging on his
right.
face. And Thanos grabs just the end of it. Like, just catches
Yeah,
it.
that
and
part
puts it back on.
sucked.
Man. And then he clicks his face, snaps his fingers.
And that's all. That's
Everything just starts getting wiped away.
So if it wasn't for Star-Lord, everything would probably be good.
No, there's only one way that it happens.
No, that
This
happened
is all-
That's
before he
right.
got that last stone. I'm pretty sure.
No,
that's the end.
Because no.
Are you
Oh
sure?
yeah, because Thor flies in right after that and stabs him in the chest with the axe, and that's when he does it. When he's like, "You should have aimed for the head or something. You should have had a headshot."
Oh yeah.
The movie was only 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Yeah, we aren't
and I got to
going-
see it again because
I'm gonna go see it again, probably.
A lot to take in.
At some point. I think it's worth it. It's gonna probably be one of the best selling movies
It's
ever.
it's an automatic buy too.
You need to watch Black Panther.
Well, yeah, like
I know.
Can I just throw these numbers in here just for sake?
Yeah,
It's
go
just-
ahead.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's only been out 3 days, and worldwide we're talking $640.5 million. So we were saying, oh, it's gonna make $1 billion.
I said one and a half.
it's gonna make
1.5. I said
probably 2.
it might.
It might make. This is 3 days.
Record shattering. 630 million worldwide.
Just a little over 250,000 or $250 million just here in the U.S. alone. In
But
3
you know
days.
what? I'm not saying this to like Star Wars made a ton of money at the opening too, and I'm just like that movie. I hate it and blah blah. This one I'm like, go see it. Like you should pay money to go see it in the theater on a big screen like that, and just enjoy it.
Well, that was perfect seats that we had at the IMAX.
It was. It's perfect.
That was. I thought you said we were in like the.
Yeah, I thought this. I thought
No.
it was
Yeah,
looking straight
like
up.
the eye bleed seats.
No, it was right in the middle. I
Perfect.
got it Friday night. We went and saw it on your birthday. Had some cocktails.
Happy belated birthday once more. It's the last you get.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we did have some cocktails. $6 Long Island's.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, TGI Fridays.
I had a
No?
Shirley Temple actually.
no,
Well, yeah, I
you weren't
did.
drinking.
You had a
Me
beer.
and Jake
you
were
son of a
drinking.
bitch. I saw you drinking.
I
And
had
then
a-
what else do we have,
Well,
Jake?
I didn't want to fall asleep. We had a 10:15 p.m. showing of a 2 hour and 40-minute movie.
Which we were told that there's no like times to go to the bathroom during. Which, by the way, there really wasn't.
No,
Maybe
you
the
really
Vision.
can't.
When I see
Yeah, but
Vision,
you still can't leave that.
Yeah.
Because he got stabbed in some
Yeah.
boring kissy part. You know
but
what
yeah,
I mean?
no, I snuck a couple
Oh, yeah.
airline flight
And a
liquors in.
Tito's vodka,
Tito's
which was
vodka and
great.
Jameson.
by the
Dude,
way.
Tito's is one of the best vodkas. That and Closet Juice, Kirkland Signature Vodka.
And thank God for your girlfriend, Wilma. She had
Wilma?
Diet Coke for me.
Yeah,
She
that
snuck
Diet
me.
Coke helped.
That was very nice.
Jesus.
Ooh,
Those are some sick pipes, man.
sounds of summer.
I brought those Diet Cokes, mother.
Oh, well, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Ugh, I haven't like chugged a drink and then had a chase in like a while.
Yeah.
I was like,
on the
"Ugh."
DL too. It seemed like every time I handed you the bottle, it was like the brightest part of the movie. I felt like we stood out and we're just like,
Well, obviously you put me on the end.
Well,
Next
thanks
to
for the
stranger.
pass down. Jesus.
well, there was only it was his fault. He only brought
Wow.
two.
Wow.
Jake
wow.
put me by
wow.
him.
It was my
Sorry.
birthday.
If you would have been next to me, you'd have had some. But you were 4 lanes down or 4 seats down.
It's
from me,
not my
so-
fault. It's your
I know.
fault.
I know.
No, I know. It's Justin's fault. I'll go with you on that.
So the end of the movie happens. Justin.
It's just
explain.
great. It was just great.
People are all dying.
Yes.
Oh,
And the
man.
guy behind you said what?
Oh, so yeah, you sit through the credits and you know there's gonna be a post-credit
Yep.
sequence. Which let's just talk about it real quick.
Mm-hmm. Samuel L. shows back up and
Nick Fury.
Lady
Yeah,
Shield.
they're driving down the road.
What's
and
her
then-
name? Does it say on there who she is?
Maria Hill,
Yeah.
the girl from not Big Bang, How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Plus, she was in the
I've
original
never
Shield
seen that
chick
show.
from the Avengers.
Yeah,
Yep. They're driving.
they're driving along.
And all of a sudden,
It's a Tommy Boy
boom.
reference.
People are start running and
Yeah,
everything else.
cars
and
start hitting them and planes start crashing
People
and-
are disappearing in the same dust that the last heroes did, and it's like an apocalypse. And who's standing there? Samuel L. Jackson. He
Nick
has his
Fury
beeper.
himself.
He has his beeper. He's trying to send a message. He starts disappearing, and what does he say? Mother fuck, and then it goes away.
It just cuts out because remember, there's like 5-year-olds in this theater. So.
Yeah. So we don't, there were snapping necks and everything already in this movie. So
And his phone drops.
no, it's a beeper.
His
It's like a
beeper
pager.
drops, and it shows
What?
a symbol of who he's calling. And
Okay.
Jake was the only one who knew it.
Yep. I was like, Captain Marvel. That's
Some
awesome.
dude up front was like, "That's my dude.
Yeah.
That's my dude."
But it's not-
In dead silence, nobody knew it.
But it's not a dude though. It's Captain Marvel.
And
so
some-
But the
dude-
dude was still saying, "That's my dude."
Some dude in the row behind us looks over and said, "Hey, yo, who that then?"
Yep. Another
And
guy
he didn't
starts
tell us who that
screaming. No, he's
was.
just screaming like he's super
No,
excited.
no, he said, "What that mean?"
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, hey, bro, what that mean? That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. That was Captain Marvel, who, in Marvel, is one of the most powerful human superpowered people on Earth.
Lady.
Like more powerful than Superman. Like type
Why?
of power.
Where does she get her powers from? I don't know much
The
about
sun.
Marvel.
She's a pilot, and I don't want to just watch it. You'll find out.
Just watch what?
Boy, watch what?
The movie when it comes out, it's
We
coming
got
out
a
soon.
year
Oh,
before that
no,
shit comes
Okay, I'll
out.
go to the
coming out in the
Wikipedia
fall,
and
man.
watch it then.
No, it's not. You
Yes,
said
it
it's
is.
coming out in March.
No, that's freaking the new Marvel. The new Avengers movies.
That new Marvel.
But anyway, she's super powerful.
the new Marvel Avengers movie?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
It was amazing.
favorite character died.
I hope he stays alive the whole series.
He died at the very beginning.
When they stabbed Tony Stark, I was like, no fucking way.
Okay, well, that got weird.
It was amazing. And then he was saved.
Infinity War spoilers, but I have context.
Oh,
I
this
give
is
you-
nice, but still, fuck you for posting this, whoever did this.
Yeah, this is a meme I saw like
I
3
don't want
times
to go
today.
Sand, Squidward, Donut, Bubbles.
Okay, so I don't want to go as the Hulk. Because he didn't want to do it fight anymore. Sand, I don't know what that is.
Well, that's
Squidward-
everybody just disintegrating into a pile of sand and
Okay.
ash, probably.
Squidward is Proxima Midnight, the psychic guy.
The
Main
donut.
character.
The donut is the ship that they're flying around in.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it's a circle.
Oh yeah, that big
Okay.
circle ship. Yeah, yeah.
The
yeah.
bubbles
Tony's like,
are-
"What are you doing here?"
The bubbles are.
Oh, I like when he dubbed Spider-Man an Avenger. He just touched him twice on the shoulder. You're an Avenger now.
Yeah, I know. I like
was
that too. Yeah. Tom Holland was great too, but how old did he look? He looked older. Like
Well,
all of a sudden
yeah.
he's an adult. Like
He's out of puberty
I think he
now.
was
That's
20.
what
Well,
happened.
he was 21 in Homecoming, I think.
Jeez.
But anyway,
Bubbles is Gamora.
no, that's Thanos turning reality into. Remember when Star Lord went to shoot Gamora?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rabbit is raccoon. That's what Thor calls raccoon. This rabbit over here. I love that shit.
No, I thought he called him a.
No, he called him a
Called
rabbit.
him a rabbit.
What the hell is that?
That's
That Who had the multiple arms?
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah,
That was so sick.
That was
at
sick.
the end
Dude,
when
Doctor
Doctor
Strange
Strange was
was really
using
sick in that
dude,
movie.
when he was using his real powers, is like, okay, that's awesome as hell.
And
And
that's what he should be. Like.
Crumble Bitch, whatever his name is,
Who?
Bender Dick Crumble Batch.
Crumble bitch.
He's perfect. Perfect
He
Benedict
really
for
is.
Doctor Strange.
Crumble
He really
bitch.
is.
Yeah,
The other
except
one
for
was a
his
little
voice.
much.
Come on, you just let him use his English voice.
Footloose. What happens there?
Oh, that's a fucking great joke, dude. When
What was that? I remember catching that.
somebody said it's a great. It was like it said
One of the,
something. that was great.
Spider-Man. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. Not really.
Yeah, he's like, no, Star-Lord. He's like, was that still one of the greatest movies of all time? And Spider-Man off camera is like, it never was. Like,
Oh, yeah.
remember that? That was a great joke. What else we got?
Death.
Scroll up a little bit. I can't see.
This is it. This is the last
Oh.
one. It's like a little ghost.
That
A
must be
specter.
Red Skull instead of Death.
Yeah.
Because that should have been Death probably. Dinklage, of course, is a dwarf.
Yeah. What's
Simba?
Rafiki throwing Simba off the?
Oh,
Probably
Gamora.
Thanos throwing Gamora. Yeah.
And then the snap.
This.
Yeah.
Game over.
There it is.
Yeah. What a great movie, though.
You guys want to sum it up? We're kind of running out
okay,
of time here.
this is what my thoughts are.
Okay.
Yeah.
After waiting for this for 10 years,
Yep.
I
This
saw
is at least 10 years.
the first cheesy moment where Thanos turned around and smiled, and it wasn't Josh Brolin or nothing because they didn't have anybody they knew that was going to do
Yeah,
it.
what
and
was
they didn't
that?
even know. I think it was Thor. It was one. I think it was either in Thor or
Yeah, because it wasn't
Iron
an
Man 2.
Avenger movie. I don't feel like.
it might have been the end of Avengers. Actually,
Was it?
that
Like
might
the
be.
post-credit?
Anyway, to see, and I was excited because I love Thanos from the comics. To see that in 10 years, and for me to walk into a movie with high expectations but scared that it's going to be bad, and to walk out of there like, holy shit, that was awesome, and wanting to see it again, wanting to watch it over. Oh, that's one of those ones I'll watch over and over and over. To watch little things in the background and here and there. That was great.
10 out of 10.
9.5 just because there was. I can't do 10s. There's no perfect movies.
Yeah, there's
except
no
Terminator
perfect
2
movie.
is a perfect movie. But
I was really going through, like I've said before, like superhero movie exhaustion, and like that's why I haven't watched Ragnarok. That's why I haven't watched Guardians 2. I haven't gone to see Black Panther. But yeah, when I saw this, man, it hit all my expectations, even though I was trying to keep it low.
The
Just,
thing I said is that I stayed awake at a 10:15 showing throughout the whole movie.
true for a 2.5+ hour movie.
dude, every one of us came out of there like that was cool as hell. Like none of us were like, eh.
It was
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
think-
It was a lot to digest, though.
It
at the
was.
end of the day.
Yes,
But-
you do need to see it twice. I feel like it's full of, like, I saw an Easter egg. I showed you, I didn't show Darrell. There's an Easter egg. Remember we saw at the end of the trailers, it said something about
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development rights given to us by Fox or Fox Studios. You know, remember seeing that?
No.
I saw.
okay.
I pointed it out.
It was there, and I guess it's because in the collector's collection back in one of those vaults, there's a blue man, a dude like who looks
The
like
Never
Tobias Funke, the Never Nude from Arrested Development.
Yeah, he's just
so
sitting there
there's
all
like
painted
an
blue.
there's I guess there's an Arrested Development Easter egg in it. Like, there's just so much that you could find in that movie,
Yeah.
and they've been
was
good at
Same
that.
like Ready Player One, honestly. Sorry to bring that up, but I'm
yeah,
saying.
no, it's same kind of stuff. Yeah,
My biggest thing about this movie is that I never knew where it was gonna go. Like I never knew that never thought I had it planned out. You know, like oh this is gonna happen and blah blah blah. And
they kept you guessing.
It had real stakes. Like there was real stakes to it. You felt nervous about what was going on and how they're going to overcome this. And the enemy won, and it was a good
That was a
Marvel
good ending.
enemy.
I like sad endings.
Other than Heath, I told you Darrell right after this movie. I said Heath Ledger as a Joker is my favorite bad guy ever. I almost said boss.
Boss, I got to fight him.
But Thanos is right there. Just the presentation of it and how he was
Didn't look cheesy, and it was very just
written so perfect. It wasn't just another bad guy. Like everybody fire at this dude. Like that kind of thing.
yeah.
It was
And you
so
knew
good.
you knew he wasn't good. You knew he wasn't going to lose at the end. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I'm sure
This
there's
is
parts
nothing
if I
but bad
watch this
news.
again that I'm gonna just be like, I didn't even see that because I was so caught up. But go see this movie. You really should.
9.5 out of 10.
Yes, I would say that.
Cyber Lunch. Thank you guys for sticking around. We're gonna-
9.7.
Okay, 9.7. He upped it. We're going to be back next week. We should get to some of the topics that we brought up, but thank you guys so much for sticking around. We're at cyberlunch1@outlook.com. Hit us up on YouTube. Comment. We're always going to respond back.
Like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
Yeah, let's get some reactions too.
Whatever.
From
love-
what you guys thought of this movie.
We love
'cause
reactions.
Yeah, I know Eric has something to say because he kept quiet. Thank
Did
you,
you
Eric.
see it?
You did not spoil anything for me. I
We're
appreciate it.
gonna end on a finger clap. Ready? 1, 2.